Are you serious? Are you serious, guys? We are going to have, this is going to be a day you need to brace yourself. 100 million Americans are going to be under the threat of some powerful tornadoes today. Let me tell you all about it. First, a shout out right now for noblegoldinvestment.com. That's www.noblegoldinvestment.com. Guys, we went off the gold standard in 1971. Worst mistake we ever made. The United States currency has lost 85% of its value. And since Congress has passed new laws, interest rates are rising and they can print money like crazy, and they will. The last time they did this, inflation went up 9%. It's called quantum easing, and they're doing it. And we should have never decoupled from gold. But noblegoldinvestment.com can help secure your retirement funds, your 401k, your IRAs, rolling them over into a noblegoldinvestment.com. Pick up the phone and call them right now at 877-646-5347. That's 877-646-5347. And tell them Pastor Paul Begley sent you, okay? Gold is a biblical currency. It has stood the test of time. Let them help you determine your financial needs. Okay, guys, here's the deal. Unbelievable. But we are in for a brutal, brutal day. From Chicago all the way to Washington, D.C., all the way down even into right where I'm at in North Carolina. So what's unbelievable today is that our home and our family, everybody up in West Lafayette, Indiana, you are going to have to brace yourself because there are tornadic threats that are definitely coming your way. From Chicago, all of really Indiana, all the way down, especially West Lafayette, Indiana, Indianapolis, Indiana, Louisville, Kentucky, and then swinging across Columbus, Ohio. You've really got to watch what's going on here. All the way into Charleston, West Virginia, Roanoke, Virginia, as it continues to move east into all the way to Washington, D.C. And south of there, along the coast, also, there's going to be some severe weather in North Carolina where I'm at right now. At some time later this evening, it'll finally get to here. So this is going to be a very difficult time throughout the afternoon, the evenings, even into the night. Tornadoes are anticipated. 100 million people are in the path of this thing. And when you have temperatures that have been so excessive, coupled with a cooling point and high pressure systems, you are set up for the perfect storm. And that's what it looks like today. Matter of fact, let me, now what in the world happened here? I've got the wrong, give me 1 second. I'll read this. You would think every time I think I got it down pat. It's because I'm not in my office where I normally am. Okay, so, but I've given you pretty well the gist of it here. But I wanted to give you the exact. Yeah. Okay. 100 million people are at risk from Baltimore, you too. Okay, Washington D.C., Baltimore. Damaging wind gust will primarily threat, and really it's for severe thunderstorms will develop. But some of those storms will even get stronger and will create tornadoes. The tornado threat stretches from the northern Illinois through Chicago, throughout northern Indiana and all of Indiana, all the way into Tennessee even, and Ohio. So Nashville, Tennessee, Louisville, Kentucky, Columbus, Ohio, okay, Indianapolis, Indiana, Chicago, Illinois, and then on across, the risk gets very bad for parts of West Virginia. Severe thunderstorms, again, threatening 100 million people in the eastern half of the United States. This is going to be a week of back-to-back-to-back storm systems as this excessive raging heat colliding with some cooler and higher elevation, cloud formation. There's a lot of moisture in the air because of the excessive heat. Expect damaging wind gusts. Expect damaging large hail, very large hail because of all this wind. Mike has taught us about that. And the atmospheric compression has already drove these jet streams closer and closer and closer to us. From the Ohio Valley to the mid-Atlantic states, it's going to get ugly. And it's really setting us up for some very serious weather. Just looking at it here, I mean, wow. Nashville, Tennessee, Chattanooga, you could get a little bit of that, okay? But certainly down there in even Cleveland could get some, so look how far. And then you go over into Charleston, West Virginia, Roanoke, Virginia, Washington, D.C. It could even get as far north as New York City. It definitely will also later tonight reach Norfolk, Virginia, but also Charlotte, North Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina, Wilmington, North Carolina, and even where I'm at right now here in North Carolina, and even Chattanooga, Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, but then even in South Carolina, it could even reach down into Columbia, South Carolina, from Chicago to Columbia, South Carolina, all of Indiana, all of Kentucky, most of Tennessee, all of Ohio, all of West Virginia, and North Carolina, part of Pennsylvania, and all the way to New York City, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Maryland, and even half of South Carolina. This is a path of 100 million people, and the weather, and this is the thing, it's not just today, but it's back to back to back to back. These storms, severe weather storms and tornadoes, are anticipated today. I just want to get people prepared for it. That way you can be preparing. And I'm going to be concerned about my home and my family, my mom and dad and my son, and taking care of my mom and dad at my home in Indiana. I'm concerned about them because they are going to face this first. And then as it goes swinging across, all of our online members that are in that part of the area of the country, you're in the path. And ultimately, before the night is over, I'm going to be looking out the window here. So this is going to be a very dangerous time. Prayers are going out to everybody. Everybody. Pray for Hawaii because you know what happened there with this. And they're still sorting through, and they've got a long way to go. There's hundreds of people missing. There's 96 dead, but hundreds are missing. And so this is a monumental, catastrophic, cataclysmic event that has hit Hawaii of a biblical proportion. It is the worst wildfire. It's the worst fire in America in over 100 years. So this is unbelievable what we're dealing with here. And so then there you have the earthquakes that are hitting also of a concern. So we have tornadoes. I'm telling you before this day is over, and I'm praying that there won't be one. I pray there won't be one, but I'm just giving you the warning now, giving you a heads up now. I'd almost guarantee there will be. The question is, where in this path of 100 million people, where will this be? And what lives will be touched before it's all said and done? Wow. Just wow. I'll be back with some more current world events and how they relate to biblical prophecy. We're certainly living in the last days. This was requested. Here it is.
I see geese flying high above the water, a child fishing with his father in the rain. I can smell blackberry brandy and chocolate-covered candy. I see a soldier crying on a train, falling asleep, reading Hemingway. and the light under the Tiffany lamp glows all night long. As I dream with weary wonder, leaving earth before the dawn, I walk the lonely streets of Paris. I was lost and so afraid, falling asleep, reading Hemingway. I feel the deepness of his weakness. I can taste the brandy sweetness at a roadside Idaho cafe. I can hear old Teddy laughing, Fitzgerald's toes a-tapping to the roaring sounds of yesterday. Falling asleep, reading Hemingway, and the light under the Tiffany lamp glows all night long. As I dream with weary wonder, leaving earth before the dawn, I walk the lonely streets of Paris. I was lost and so afraid, falling asleep, reading Hemingway. And the light under the Tiffany lamp glows all night long. As I dream with weary wonder, leaving earth before the dawn, I walk the lonely streets of Paris. I was lost and so afraid, falling asleep, reading Hemingway. And a shotgun blast echoed across the page, falling asleep, reading Hemingway.
Oh, that's right. Mike Ward wrote this song, good friend of Israel Hall's. Little backstory on this. Mike Ward wrote this song. Mike has written several country songs that have been recorded by major artists. He wrote this song, and there were two artists who made commitments to record it. One was Winona Judd. She was going to go into the studio and record this song on a brand new album. But on Monday morning, she was to be in a Nashville studio. But that weekend, there was a terrible crash, and one of her family members lost their life. I can't remember exactly who that person was, but so they canceled that album's recording and what have you. By the time they got around to it 6 months later, she had dropped it from the list. Also, Elton John, believe it or not, Elton John first made a commitment he was going to record this song, but at the last minute substituted it out for another song. So it sat there, bounced around Nashville and different places. Nobody picked it up, and Israel knew the writer, and Israel just called him one day. We were driving down the road. I was sitting in the car with him. Israel played the song for me, and that the writer had written and pitched. And when I heard it, I said, "Man, that's just beautiful. That song's just beautiful." I mean, I don't know what to say. A lot of people have read Ernest Hemingway books. They know his writing. And the song is just beautiful. It's a tragically that Ernest Hemingway took his life. And I actually last year went to the Keys and went to Ernest Hemingway's house and went in. And he has 54 cats. And they all got 6 fingers and toes. And you guys may know that story. But and some of those cats were there, and they had 6 fingers and toes. 6 toes, I should say. They don't have fingers. But anyway, long story short, Israel picks up the phone and calls Mike Ward. Mike answers, and he says, "Hey, look, there's a pastor sitting here, and he just loves the song. He says, beautiful. Can he record it?" And he said, "Go ahead, record it. Nobody else will. Go ahead. So I did. Who knows? Maybe somebody else one day will pick that song up and record it. One of the major artists out there, and it could be a beautiful hit for some listeners. Okay. Anyway, it's a great song. It's a great backstory. It's good to know that these stories. It's funny because just being a amateur and not a very good singer at that. Just enjoy music really, and love to put things together and like to pull together good musicians and do things like that. Um, uh, I I pray about what songs to put on albums, um, and like I'm right now, I'm working on my next music CD in which I'm collecting songs, collecting. A lot of times I do cover songs, but sometimes I like to pull out some old hymns. And I have been begged. People have begged me. They have begged me, Paul, just do an album with all hymns. Bring in the great musicians to help you. That way you can jazz it up and approach it different ways. But just bring back those hymns. Just bring back those blessed assurance. Jesus is mine, or, you know, uh, nothing but the blood of Jesus, okay? What can wash away my sins? Nothing but the blood of Jesus. Go and get some of those great hymns from our childhood and put something together. So I'm working on two lists. I got one list, this list, and I got the hymn list. And I'm trying to, which album do I do first? So we'll pray about that. That's what I'm saying is every song is prayed over because I play these songs. A lot of times I play songs like these on the Sunday Night Live or Wednesday or Thursday night, and people come to Christ. Sometimes I play songs like from formerly Jacob or from Kevin Wilson or other folks occasionally, but we like to play our music because some folks don't like their music be played on our broadcast, believe it or not, because they may not be endorsing our message completely. I never did think I would ever see a day where people were worried about that. I mean, it's all about getting people saved, getting people to Jesus. That's what I've always believed. If you want to find out more about it, go to my website at paulbegleyprophecy.com and get all the albums we have. I got 4 of mine on there. I got 4 of Kevin Wilson's on there. I've got 2 of formerly Jacob on there. I've even got 1 of Kevin Copley until it runs out on there. So you might want to, and his is a limited supply, so if you're going to get his, you better grab it. Kevin Copley, that is. Anyway, all of them are available at my website at paulbegleyprophecy.com. Guys, seriously, don't stop believing. Jesus is coming back, okay? He's coming back. I'll be back with some more current world events and how they relate to biblical prophecy. We certainly are living in the last days, and like I said, there's 100 million people in the path of what could be an unbelievable outbreak of tornadoes. And it's not just today. Today's going to be bad, but it's back to back to back. We are in a very volatile time, and also we're keeping our eyes on the Atlantic Ocean for hurricanes. Okay, we got to, because we're entering into that season, and with the weather as hot as it's been, and with the oceans record temperature of the oceans, it creates it's like energy fueling. It's like gas on a fire, and then you see what happens in Hawaii, and of course the earthquakes. The earth is reeling and rocking. We're tipping off of our axis. Where pole is shifting. The sun is exploding with solar flares and all these different apocalyptic things. And then again, is this all part of the effects of Planet X? I'll be back with more current world events and how they relate to biblical prophecy. Stay right here on this YouTube channel. I'll be right back.